Okay, so a couple of casting tips for you. I'm here, I've got a piece of wool on the end rather than the hook. A normal leader of about 10 foot. I've got an Orvis Helios rod with an access reel and an Orvis access line. I'm going to show you a couple of tips first, but basically the grips, the important thing is to feel comfortable. So whether you have your thumb on top, or I call it sort of penfold grip, a bit like in table tennis, where you literally got the centre of the rod coming up that part of your hand, or whether for the serial wrist breakers, which is a good one, put your finger up the top of the rod, and that stops you, can help stop breaking your wrist. A lot of the Continentals use that grip all the time. What I like to do, I'm going to show you a little tip on the back cast, but I always put glasses on, even with a piece of wool. It's a good habit to get into. Okay, I'm not going to show you the roll cast, I'm just going to basically get the line out. So the first tip is what a lot of people do, they seem to keep hitting the ground behind. I'm going to show you the back cast, but basically with the back cast, when I'm teaching it, I rather call it an up cast. And if you can get the line going up, it sort of causes a problem. You don't have to keep turning around, you don't get caught in the undergrowth. So start off with your rod tip low, lift up and pop it up. And if you notice here, I'm making a slight movement and a stop around 1 o'clock. So watch again, bang, bang. Nice and steady, let your line more or less straighten behind. Some instructors like it almost to be straight behind, others instructors like to have the line almost pulling your rod tip back. I just prefer your line to be straight, but not a lot of effort. So watch again, bang and out. Now my cast is up, and if you notice there on my elbow, just move it up a fraction and out it goes. So that's one of the first tip. Think about driving your line up and make it an upcast. And the other thing is, most of the best casters, if you look on they've done analysis with graphs, if you make an abrupt stop around the 1 o'clock position or in the 45-degree position, the better casters actually make a very, very abrupt cast. In other words, an abrupt stop. So they're not lazy, they actually make a good abrupt stop. Okay, and the line goes out. Finally, so that's the key, so on both the back cast and the forward cast you make an abrupt stop. The final tip I'll give you, a lot of anglers I've got actually throttle the rod like they're trying to kill something. I always say hold the rod like you're holding the school hamster, nice and gently. So basically here, there and out. So I'll do one cast just to finish for you with a couple of false casts in between. It's up, down, up, down, up and out. And let your line, your rod tip follow down afterwards. So that's the tip of the season.